Heavy rain's been the name of the game the last couple of days across Kentucky, and it shows no signs of letting up as we go into your Sunday. Hey there, friends. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. It is late on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. We're about to head into Sunday, the 12th, and we are tracking more in the way of heavy rain. But before we look at what's coming our way, let's look at where we've been the last 48 hours. In fact, over the last 2 days, some parts of Kentucky have seen 3 to 5 inches of fresh precipitation, especially in southwestern Kentucky, and we've got more heavy rain on the way. We go now to radar Omega, and you can see that we've got an area of low pressure spinning across the state, stalled out frontal boundary, and a lot of west to east movement on those thunderstorms. And with that, we will see training of thunderstorms over the same areas, especially in southern Kentucky. I am highlighting pretty much areas south of Interstate 64 as my main concern over the next 24 hours. This area has the potential to deal with some flash flooding issues as we go into Sunday. I don't think it's going to be widespread. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what we saw a couple weeks ago, but I do want everyone south of I-64 to be on the lookout. We already have a few warnings this evening as we're recording this just before 11 o'clock. Let's go to the radar over on Aguacera weather, and you will notice got a severe thunderstorm warning. That is for portions of Muhlenberg County. That goes until 9:45, so 10:45, so that's about to wrap up. And then we've got that flash flood warning until 11 o'clock Eastern time for near Bowling Green. So that one also about to wrap up. But we will continue to see rounds of heavy rain work their way along southern Kentucky. You'll also notice decent amounts of lightning with these thunderstorms. And as we look at the radar estimates over the last 72 hours of rainfall, lining up very similar with what we saw in the Mesonet. Some locations seeing 2 to 3 inches of rain in southern Kentucky, and because of that, the Weather Prediction Center has placed a good chunk of south central and southeastern Kentucky under a slight risk of flash flooding tomorrow. Excessive rain, that's a at least 15% chance for all the areas highlighted in yellow, and the marginal area there in the green, at least a 5% chance. So places like Tompkinsville, Columbia, London, Somerset, Danville, Berea, Campbellsville, Williamsburg, Jackson, Hazard, Harlan, Whitesburg, Pikeville, all under the potential of seeing some decent flash flooding tomorrow. Now the good news is the severe weather risk going to be off to our southeast tomorrow. We're just expecting general thunderstorms here in Kentucky tomorrow. So no severe risk, just the flooding risk. But with that flooding risk, we've got that heavy rain potential. The official forecast over the next 2 days from the Weather Prediction Center calling for 1 to 2 inches there along the Kentucky-Tennessee border. Less once you get north of I-64, and I think that's a pretty good forecast at this point. Will everybody see a ton of rain? No, especially with the spotty nature of those showers. We go back to the radar real quick. You'll notice it's not super widespread, but there are several areas seeing pretty heavy rain, and it's going to hit the same areas over and over again. And it's an effect we call training. It's the basically west to east movement of thunderstorms over the same area, like trains going down a railroad track. So each time a storm comes through, dumps more water, increases that potential of flooding. So let's go to the HRRR model, and we will map out what we can expect heading throughout the overnight tonight. Here we go, hour by hour. And here you're going to see by 2 a.m. rain becoming widespread in southeast Kentucky, a decent line of showers in central Kentucky, some heavy rain between Bowling Green and Somerset. That all pushes eastward through the overnight. And notice how you just get a ton of precipitation there. Going through midday Sunday and carrying into the afternoon. This model right now only goes out till 3 o'clock on Sunday. But one of the things we can do is we can switch to the how much precipitation falls in that time. Let me take the temperatures off real quick. And you can see several spots, 3 to 4 inches of rain showing up there between Columbia and Bowling Green if that HRRR model is correct. So that is a big thing to keep our eyes out for. We're going to switch our data one more time and go to the more long range look at the forecast, courtesy of the European model. Sunday, that rain should taper off a little bit overnight. We're going to wake up into the upper 60s on Monday afternoon, low to mid 80s, I think, for most of us, although the European model going a little bit cooler than that, but showing another round of scattered showers. We finally dry things out a bit on Tuesday, likely waking up into the 60s and 70s. But even that afternoon, few renegade showers in southern Kentucky as that frontal boundary stalls out off to our south a little bit. Wednesday, another 20% chance or so pop-up showers, upper 80s. Thursday, a few pop-up renegade showers. Not a ton, but once again, a very typical summer pattern with temperatures climbing into the upper 80s for highs, lows into the 70s, and at least a small daily chance of precipitation. You'll see that here on the extended forecast. So, we definitely want to stay very weather aware tomorrow, especially in southeastern Kentucky. Flooding, the big concern. Also, I'm going to have to deal with some patchy fog as you head out to your Sunday morning services. So plan a little bit of extra time to get where you're going in the morning. The storms continue into Monday, drying out a bit Tuesday and Wednesday, but then we'll crank that heat and humidity back up as we go into the end of the week, about where we should be into the upper 80s, at least in southern Kentucky. Some spots that are a little bit drier, maybe flirting with 90. You can see that forecast for your town scrolling at the top of your screen. All right, so that's all we're going to do right now. I'll have more updates on the weather as it breaks tomorrow, so be sure to keep checking back on my Facebook page, and you'll get the latest warnings for central and eastern Kentucky on Facebook and on X, so be sure to like and subscribe. And if you enjoy the content we've been doing here, follow, like, subscribe. It all helps out quite a bit. So until next time, friends, take care, stay weather aware. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith, and I'll see you in the next one.